When you were serving at a restaurant, did you ever get stiffed? Like no tip?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that would happen every once in a while.
And what scenario?
And I took it personal. I hated that. I'm like, what did I do to these people?
Okay, let me ask you this question, then the follow-up. If you weren't tipping, but somebody left, let's say, a Rolex sitting on the table on accident, what would you do with said Rolex?
Oh, I would turn it into a manager and say somebody left their watch.
Even though they stiffed you?
Yes.
You'd say
because I don't want to lose my job over trying to steal somebody's watch that I'm sure they didn't mean to leave me a $5,000 to $10,000 Rolex. I think that's what they cost. Probably more than that.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll probably take the Rolex. I'll be like, oh, must have been what he meant to tip.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, you're not going to be working very long, and you might go to jail.
How pathetic can some people be?
You seen Italian guys tip, right? We make everybody watch. You see that? I gave the guy $5. You see that? I gave him $5. You didn't see it? I'll give him 10. I'll give him 15. Hey, I don't even know if he works here. I'm tipping him anyway. I'm a big shot. This guy gets money, that guy, this guy back here. I can't even see him. I'm tipping him. I don't care. Italian guys will tip at a funeral. Hey, could you get me up front by the body somewhere? See us on vacation. Hey, honey, get a picture of me tipping this guy. We like to tip. That's why we like to go to church, because that collection plate comes around. Put money in the plate, it's like tipping God. No, here, for him. For him, the guy upstairs, for you can bring it in, for that guy over there, for the nun, for the altar boy father. Come here, go ahead, sit up front.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Every time I hear that open, I think of, have you ever been somewhere and you try to put money in the tip jar and they turn around and they're not looking? Like that Seinfeld episode?
It happened. We went to this mission. The mission out at over the weekend on Mother's Day, we went to Fort Hunter Liggett. And by the way, the mission out there is spectacular.
I didn't know there was one out there.
It's spectacularly gorgeous, and maybe 5 people visit it a week.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it is, because it's so remote, and you walk into the thing, and you're like, oh my gosh, you don't know what you're getting into, and you walk into it, and it's the most ornate worship hall that I've ever seen in a mission. And that's not...
You go the 101 to get out there? Go through Fort Hunter Liggett?
You got to go out to Lockwood. So that's...
Oh.
Yeah, you're playing with fire.
Okay. But it's worth it if you get through Lockwood. Lockwood. That is the Hills Have Eyes.
You survive.
Right, that little corner grocery, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah. If you survive,
I'm
Lockwood,
never stopping here.
There's a reward of...
Just keep moving.
Of God's rewards at the mission on the Hunter Liggett Army base. But yeah, no, it's beautiful. But anyways, this woman makes a big deal about how they're supported by tips at the museum at the mission, right? So she's working the gift shop, and she's also the entrance to the museum. She's like, the suggested donation is $10 and then $3 per kid. And we're like, okay, cool.
Why is it more for the kids?
Well, because just anybody coming, because they get education for it.
They're just trying to get more money.
They get education from it or
That's
something
fine.
along those
Here
lines.
you go. Here's a 20, honey. Is that enough for you?
So we walk through the museum. Then we get back into the gift shop. By the way, they're having like some kind of big party out there, which I don't know. I want to go to it just to see what the big party is. It's the day after the Macaroni and Cheese Festival. I want to go to it because I want to see what a big party is on the an Air Force or Army base that is as remote as AF. You know, I mean, it's way out there. I'm going to get to dumbass. I promise. This woman, she's got the jar there, and I'm getting my money ready as we're coming back out of the museum. She's all the way on the other side of the gift shop helping out somebody that has an actual question about something they're purchasing. So I'm like, oh, we got to tip her in front of... She's trying to see us tipping her.
Yeah, because she made such a big deal about it.
She made such a big deal about it. So I'm like, Italian tipper guy, I'm like, sticking my arm way up in the sky.
You knock the tip jar down and you break it. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just getting ready to drop in 100 for you.
You can't do that in God's house, though. That's the thing, you know? So yeah. I just put it in there in good faith that somebody, a higher power, will let her know that family that came through and the son peed the pants, they tipped enough.
Yeah, you got to make sure. It's usually at a bar at an event or something like that, and you got to, oh, yeah, I'm sticking it in there. And
check this out.
Oh, thank you.
You got to do the Italian tipping in that situation. Now, Armando Markage, he works at Patsy's Restaurant in New York City. He went to go collect the bill for somebody, and he noticed there was no tip on the thing.
He's a server, right?
Mm-hmm. Karen Vinacour was eating there, and she decided to not tip the server.
Okay.
She also left an envelope there. In that envelope was a cashier's check that she got from selling her apartment. She sold her apartment
in New York?
Yeah, in New York.
Oh.
She sold her apartment for $424,000.
Oh, that's a screaming deal. What was it? Maybe a
Well, I'm sure it's, there's all
10
levels.
by 12?
There's all levels of apartments.
You know that's a 10 by 12.
Yeah, I'm sure
it's
it was
got to be
yours.
about the size of this room.
Yeah, now she had the proceeds from her apartment sale, and she had already set them aside for down payment on a new home. She never tipped the waiter.
But she left a $407,000.
But she left a $424,000
cashier's
check, which he could have accepted
endorsed
as a tip
and deposited, and then went to prison.
If he would have got caught, he returned it to her.
Yeah, it's smart. Because they're going to catch you unless you run to Canada or something.
He's working his way through school. Okay.
Did she give him something for returning it?
She did give him
Thank
something
God.
for returning it.
Good.
Could you
Okay.
imagine if she said,
Like, listen,
hey,
you were
thanks.
the worst human ever,
She
lady.
said, I didn't tip you this time. I'm not tipping you this time.
Thanks for the check, you jerk. Get out of here.
You wouldn't have. And especially because the woman didn't.
I'll even tip bad service if I love the restaurant.
That's life-changing money.
Have you ever loved a restaurant so much that when you get bad service, you got to tip them because you want to come back? Because you don't want to be that guy that comes back that didn't tip, and you're coming back because you love that restaurant.
Let's get to the
It's not going to be a great tip, but it's
$424,000 check.
Yeah.
That's life-changing money. $424,000 is life-changing money.
It's a lot of money.
If you're working as a server, that's life-changing money because you can get a job at another restaurant. You just quit your job that day.
Yeah, you just quit your job. You move to Canada.
No, you don't need to move to Canada.
You got to get out. They're going to be hunting for you.
Well, who's hunting for you?
You got to cash that check.
So there's surveillance at a bank, is what you're saying?
Well, they're going to say, hey, wait a second. Where's the last place you remember having the check? At Patsy's.
Have a buddy do it for you.
Okay. And then where was the server? Oh, he quit yesterday. Oh, big coincidence. He's gone.
So?
Now we got to track him down. FBI gets involved. That's a lot of money.
FBI, what?
$500,000 almost.
Finders keep. It's a cashier's check. Finders keepers, losers weepers.
I don't think that works that way.
Worked that way in third grade.
Yeah, well.
Finders keepers, losers weepers.
Some people grow up.
Yeah, and some people.
Who's the dumbass, by the way?
The woman for not tipping in the first place. She skirted a big problem because you know what? If I was Armando Markage, I would have taken that check and said, "Oh, she must have left this as a tip. Sorry."
Oh, I got your tip right here, honey. Thanks. I just bought myself a new apartment.
She even put it in an envelope so somebody didn't see, a big stack of cash sitting on the table and try to grab some as they were walking by. Always tip your servers, no matter how bad the service is, because you could leave something behind. This is karma.
At least 15%, right?
Yeah, it depends on service.
You go lower than 15? I don't think I ever go lower than 15 unless it's terrible.
If service is really bad, I go 10. Yeah. Which 10 is not bad.
I've left a penny before.
That's terrible.
Penny for your thoughts.
That is worse than not leaving a tip at all. Where's her name, by the way? Vinacour. Karen Vinacour.
Cheap slut.
You gotta keep. Why you have to say that? She's like an old lady that, by the way.
Well, I didn't know that.
She was just like frugal.
Cheap lady.
She sold her apartment that she'd been living in forever so she could move out to the country.
Well, I didn't know that. You didn't tell me any of that until just now.
Come on. And she ended up tipping in the end. So
Good for her.
He's up.
Good for her.
But always tip up front because that could have turned ugly quick. You're Jeff and Jeremy's
Dumbass of the Day. It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.